Hey VC, it's Travis, back again with a brand new vinyl update. I haven't done one of these for about a year and a half, which is really hard to believe. I can't believe it's been that long already. But been keeping busy. As I mentioned in some of my most recent videos, I was working on an album with my band. The album is complete and it's released. We released it on both CD and vinyl, which is awesome. So I got the CD version here. Really simple sleeve, 11 tracks on here. Super proud of this, and just wanted to kind of do some shameless self-promotion here. Here's the vinyl copy here. We got the vinyl pressed at Palomino Records, I believe is out of Kentucky. They do smaller runs, and so that's where it was at. They did a great job, though. I think it turned out really nice. We did the sleeve. We had screen printed locally here, so that kind of explains the difference in the color scheme. But yeah, very, very proud of this. If anyone's interested in listening to this or purchasing this or the CD, I'll put a link down in the description. Feel free to check it out. Always appreciate that. But super excited about that. Alright, so I don't have a ton of time on my memory card here on this camera, so hopefully I can cruise through this. Of course, I've gotten a ton of records over the last year and a half or so. I'm only going to show some of the highlights, some of my favorite pickups, because otherwise I'd be here all day. So anyhow, let's just get right into it here. If I run out of time, I'll probably stop this and maybe do a part 2 here. Alright, so first things first, this one has been on my wish list for the longest time, probably since day one. I've always wanted to get a copy of this. MC5, back in the USA. I think I've seen like reissues and stuff floating around or whatever. This one might be like an early reissue, but it's a German press. Really nice condition. I found it online, really nice price, so finally in my collection, very happy about that. Like I said, it's been ever since I started collecting vinyl. This is probably 10 plus years ago or whatever. So awesome. I'm just going to show this one just to kind of talk about it. Alright, so this is the Modern Lovers self-titled debut album. This is the Music on Vinyl pressing, and I just wanted to say that if you're in the market to find this, I would definitely check out Music on Vinyl. Relatively cheap. It's around $30 or so, which is on the lower end for Music on Vinyl. I've had the Four Men with Beards pressing, which I think is out of print now too, and for some reason that's like really expensive. So if you're looking for this record, don't waste your time. Just get this one. Awesome pressing, sounds great. I also have the 80s Rhino reissue. That one's pretty decent too, but that's also getting pretty expensive. So unless you can find it for cheap, or find an original for really cheap, that's great. But otherwise, Music on Vinyl, that one's where it's at. I just wanted to say that. All right. The original Modern Lovers. I got another Modern Lovers here. This is kind of a compilation on Bomp Records, early 80s. Most early recordings and demos from the first record and stuff like that. So Modern Lovers are one of my favorite bands, so I had to pick that up. Also got pretty early pressing. I think it's probably like the second repress or something of self-titled debut album of the Ramones, which I'm sure I don't need to talk about a whole lot. But I've had, I think it's a first pressing Portuguese pressing, and that one was a little beat up. So I was always kind of in looking for another nice copy. I eventually had gotten the Rhino reissue that was probably pressed, a couple years ago or something. But again, I've always kind of been looking for a nice like original or early pressing, and I finally got one here. Excellent condition. Very, very happy to have that in my collection now too. This one here got online, I'm pretty sure. Big Black, songs about fucking. There's that on Touch and Go Records. Let's see. I had seen a copy of this at a local record store. It was one of the reissues, which you can still get pretty easy. And I was about to get that, and then I was like, well, I'm going to look up and see if I can get an original and see how much they are going for or whatever. And I actually found an original for cheaper somehow, so I ended up getting this one. So, stoked about that. Here's another one that I kind of upgraded. This one I actually showed in one of my more recent vinyl finds videos. By recent, I mean like 3 years ago. But it's the Damned. This is on Stiff Records. An original, I'm pretty sure. I had like a reissue from the mid 80s. That was pretty decent, but again, I'm always kind of looking for earlier pressings and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not a complete snob about it, but anyhow. Also got Germs. GI. This is I'm pretty sure this might be. I can't remember. It's an early press though on Slash. I also had the reissue. I want to say that was a Rhino reissue too. But I ended up finding one of these for a decent price. So excellent. Of course, has Pat Smear, who later played with Nirvana stuff. Excellent punk record there. This one, probably one of the last X albums. I needed more fun in the new world. Kind of eluded me for a long time, but finally got that one. I think that completes my X collection. This one here, I actually found out in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I went out there to go see the Smashing Pumpkins recently on their tour, which was excellent, by the way. But we stopped at a couple record stores and stuff, and at the last store they had this, 9 Inch Nails' Pretty Hate Machine, an original pressing of that, on Halo 2, the TVT. Halo 2 is I think that's the label. TVT is something too, TVT Records. But wasn't exactly cheap, but I've been looking for this one for a while too, and excited to have that in my collection now as well. This one I got from my buddy Steve. It's a original, well, yeah, I think it's original pressing from Venezuela. GNR Lies. Not in the greatest condition, but you know, don't come across this very often, so kind of happy to have that as well. Okay, here we go. Metallica, Kill 'Em All. Now this one is reissue on Elektra Records, so it's from, I think, the late 80s, mid to late 80s. So I've had, and I still have, original on Megaforce copy, but it's pretty beat up. I'm sure it got played a lot by someone. And I've never really been able to enjoy it just because it's not in the best quality. So I've always been kind of looking for an upgrade of that one. And I've just heard really bad things about some of the newer reissues. I know that Warner Brothers did a reissue, and then they recently reissued it on Blackened. And I can't speak for the Blackened one, but I borrowed the Warner Brothers one from my buddy Steve. And just sound quality wise, it just doesn't have that fidelity compared to even just this one. Again, I wish I could compare it better to my Megaforce one. The Megaforce one plays is just a little scratchy and stuff, so it's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, I mean, if you're in the market for a Metallica Kill 'Em All, you know, if you get one of those newer represses or reissues, you know, might be a good placeholder, but try to seek out an early Megaforce or Elektra Records. This one sounds pretty good. Also, this one also has 2 bonus tracks, Am I Evil and Blitzkrieg, which aren't on the original album, but they're on here, so that's kind of cool. This one I got from my buddy Matt, Matt Sands. Does the Psychedelic Experience, I believe it's called, record runs. One of my favorite channels here, Vinyl Community. Always check in with him and stuff. But he posted this on Instagram. Again, this was probably about a year ago now, but and he was selling some records, and I couldn't pass it up, and he gave me a great deal. Faith No More, The Real Thing. This is pretty sure it's first pressing as well. It's a gold stamp promo on the cover there. Slash Records. So was pretty happy about that as well. So thank you, Matt. This one here I found at Revival Records in Eau Claire. This is The Smiths. Rank. Their live album, which I pretty much completes most of my Smith collection. I think of maybe just some of the compilations I would probably end up getting, but if I can find them. But that was pretty cool to find. This one here is, again, a lot of these I'm like looking up on Discogs and stuff and adding it to my collection. I'm pretty sure this is a first press as well. Mudhoney, Every Good Boy Deserves Fudge. Colored vinyl on Sub Pop Records. So found this online really cheap. Couldn't pass it up. Very cool. Let's see what else we got. Okay, we got some Butthole Surfers. We got Locus Abortion Technician. I wanted to just get some of the early Butthole Surfers albums, like Rembrandt, Pussy Horse. So some pretty crazy records there. All right, got this one. I think I found this one at Revival as well. This is The Sisters of Mercy, First and Last and Always, which I want to say is their debut album. So don't come across stuff like this very often, so I was pretty stoked to find that in the wild. But yeah, kind of goth rock type stuff. I dig it. This one I found more recently at Revival as well. This is the Church Gold Afternoon Fix. It's like a promo copy of some kind too, I think. But I want to say this is from like 1990, so not very common to run across this, so I was pretty stoked to find that as well. But yeah, this is a great album by The Church. Australian band, I want to say. I think they're Australian. I got a couple here from Tom Verlaine of Television. The album called Cover. Kind of an interesting looking cover, anyway. And Words from the Front. Tom Verlaine, again, of Television, one of my favorite bands, so I'll pick up pretty much anything from Tom Verlaine or Richard Lloyd, which I got Field of Love here by Richard Lloyd as well. So, solo albums. This is a re-release from 1986, I guess. So, I don't know, pretty cool. Here's one of my favorite newer bands, Parquet Courts. I know I've talked about them on my channel before. This one came out a couple years ago. I want to say like 2 years ago. Human Performance by Parquet Courts. If you're into music like The Modern Lovers or Velvet Underground, kind of, definitely check these guys out. You know, I dig them, and here's their newest album I've been digging a lot. Came out earlier this year, Wide Awake, by Parquet Courts. Very, very cool. So, been following them for a couple years now, and just pretty stoked that they're releasing music that I still dig. I'm going to stop this now. I still got about another half stack here. I'm going to try to free up some space on my card here. So I'll be right back. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. Alright, so I found this one out in the wild at Revival Records in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. This is Iggy and the Stooges, Metallic KO. Live album. Pretty cool to find this out in the wild. You know, don't see stuff like this too often. So, very, very cool. Little live album. Moving into some other things here. Got this Brian Eno, Taking Tiger Mountain by Strategy. This is early 80s reissue on the Editions EG label. I think originally it was on Island. But got this one here, nice clean copy of that. Kind of filling out my Brian Eno collection. I got several of his early stuff. Found this one at Revival as well. This was a really cool find. Captain Beefheart and his Magic Band Trout Mask Replica. This here is a reissue. I think it's from like the mid to late 70s or so. But super, super clean. I'm sure whoever owned it probably played it once, maybe. You know, it's kind of one of those albums that people talk about, kind of an acquired taste, I guess. You know, I definitely, like, when the first time I listened to it years ago, like, I didn't get it. But it's one of those albums you just have to kind of take your time with. But it's pretty cool, and I'm happy to own that one now. Also found this at Revival. This is Moby Grape's first album here. Debut. Definitely like an early pressing of this one, as you can tell by the non-airbrushed middle finger there. Of course, later editions had that airbrushed out, because I guess that was offensive. So, no, this is a great album though, by Moby Grape. So happy to find that one. These ones, I kind of went on a little spree. I got most of these online. I think I found a couple at Strictly Discs in Madison, Wisconsin, which is a great record store, by the way. If you're ever in Madison, stop in Strictly Discs. But I got like pretty much probably a whole collection of Flaming Groovies. I don't know if they have much else after these ones. So I got the Super Snaz. This one I found online. Pretty groovy little cover there. Yeah, totally dig this band. Got this one at, this is one of them I got at Strictly Discs. This is Flamingo. Flaming Groovies there. I think this one, I want to say originally has like a gatefold. This one's a non-gatefold. I could be wrong about that, but anyhow, I'm not too picky about stuff like that sometimes. I got Flaming Groovies Teenage Head. This is the first album of theirs I heard, and I just loved it right away. Found this on CD at a gas station years ago. Just kind of a total blind buy. Didn't know anything about it, but I just thought it looked really cool, just based on the cover. So I picked it up, and yeah, it was totally awesome. So dig the Flaming Groovies. Got this one, Shake Some Action. This one I found online as well. So got that one, and also this is the other one I found at Strictly Discs, is Flaming Groovies now. So kind of started moving into like a power pop sound on some of those later records, but all of it's pretty good. So definitely check them out if you haven't heard of them. Found this one. This is one of the only like Grateful Dead albums I didn't have, like from the early stuff. I don't really have much of their later stuff. I think I have most of their albums from like the 60s and 70s. I think I have all of them now, but their first album I didn't have. So this is self-titled Grateful Dead. Trying to remember where I got this one. I want to say, well, Actually, I think I got this at Strictly Discs in Madison as well. I want to say I'm pretty confident I got it there. So, like I said, that store is awesome. If you've ever been there, you walk in and it's all mostly like new vinyl on the main floor. Then they have some CDs and stuff too, I'm pretty sure. But then you go down in their basement, and their basement is completely full of used vinyl. And I've always had really good luck finding stuff there, and they post updates on their Facebook all the time, and it's just some of the stuff they get in is just like so incredible. I wish I lived closer, but yeah, it's a great store. Another thing too, you know, when I picked these ones up, I hadn't been there for a long time, and the way it used to be is in their basement stuff, they'd have everything there, but they wouldn't have anything priced. So you'd have to kind of go through and you know, pick out kind of what you wanted, and then you'd bring it to a clerk that was down there, and they would quickly price everything for you. And so it was kind of hard to you know, splurge, because you had no idea how much you were spending, you know, and then you'd have to make some tough decisions too if like something was a little bit more expensive than you thought it would be. But luckily, like I said, last time I went there when I got the Flaming Groovies, and I got this one, and I got another one here too. They had everything priced and graded as well. They usually had them like in these nice like sleeves like this too, and they I don't think they want you opening up stuff and checking conditions. So that's kind of a little, you know, iffy, especially if it's like a really rare or, you know, expensive record. But I will say that their grading is pretty fair. All these were like in really excellent condition, and they were all graded appropriately. So anyhow, if you happen to be in the Madison area, Madison, Wisconsin, check out that store. This is the other one I got there too, the Music Machine. Turn on the Music Machine. This is a 80s reissue. What label? Line Outline? I don't know if that's the correct label. I don't know. I thought it was like a Rhino thing or something, but no. So of course this is like a early garage rock from the 60s, and you know, I've always been kind of looking for this album, but found this one nice and clean, 80s press. Happy with that one. This one I got online, the Chesterfield Kings Stop. This is kind of the 80s garage rock revival. Definitely on the lookout for some more Chesterfield Kings, but this one is a good one to start my collection out with. So there's that one. Was kind of on a little Graham Parsons binge, or kick, I guess, a while back now. And you know, I had like the Byrds, Sweetheart of the Rodeo, the Flying Burrito Brothers, but then I had this one, the Graham Parsons GP. I had a reissue of this one, one of those more recent ones, and I got it really, really cheap. It was on sale at a one of those like bookstores, but it was super warped, and I was so disappointed about it. So totally like couldn't even play it. It was such a shame. But anyhow, ended up finding a nice early pressing of this one. This is not a first press, but it's from the 70s for sure. But great album from Graham Parsons. Also Grievous Angel. So we got those two essential kind of country rock albums. Was also on a little John Prine kick. Ended up finding his self-titled album here. This is a promotional copy, white label promo. Yeah, this is a great album. A lot of his essential songs on here. Just yeah, John Prine. And then found this one at Revival Records, Sweet Revenge. And this one was just kind of lucky to to find too. You know, I don't come across this one very often. Honestly, I don't think I've ever really seen it. But they had posted it on their Facebook page, and a bunch of people were commenting about it, you know, about getting this one. And I ended up going up there, and I couldn't find it right away. And I was thinking, well, someone probably, you know, picked it up, and it was tucked away in the new releases or new arrivals, and snatched that up real quick. All right. This was an online find. This is another one that's been on my wish list for a really long time. I never thought I would ever really be able to get it. I found it for a decent price. Fred Wesley and the JBs, Damn Right I Am Somebody. Yeah, Fred Wesley and the JBs, of course, like, let's see, it's recorded during the same session as James Brown's album, The Payback. So, kind of give you an idea of how that sounds. So it's, you know, I think it was produced by James Brown or something, but he's definitely on here anyway, too. But yeah, this is a great album. A lot of hip hop samples off of here too. Yeah, definitely real funky. And the last little bit here, these are all reissues, but these are also ones that have been on my wish list for quite a while. But a bunch of Funkadelic records. Free Your Mind and Your Ass Will Follow. These are reissues on the Westbound Records label. I think a lot of these are also on, I want to say Four Men with Beards, but yeah, as I kind of mentioned, you know, before, with Four Men with Beards, you know, some of their pressings are kind of iffy. So years ago, I got Maggot Brain, and I ended up paying a little bit more for the Westbound pressing, and I'm glad I did because it sounds awesome. And then I ended up more recently got their self-titled one, so now I got that one. And then these are also on Westbound, Standing on the Verge of Getting It On, and Cosmic Slop. Again, yeah, if you're in the market for any funkadelic, you know, psychedelic, funk rock stuff, George Clinton, yeah, definitely check out the Westbound Records reissues, which I think they're also originally on Westbound. So if you're able to find original too, that'd be awesome. But anyway, that's all I got to show for now. Thanks for tuning in. I know it's been a while, but you know, I wish I could do this more often, but honestly, I just don't always have the time or the ambition. So, but you know, glad to do a little record update here. I will hopefully see you guys real soon. Peace out.